Hey, there we go.
So, here's an interesting experiment. Will anybody actually follow the live after show on a Sunday morning?
Yeah, it's. I mean,
I guess for our UK fans, it might be like 4:30 in the afternoon-ish, so theoretically there could be somebody
I love how
around.
blown out we are. It's great.
Yeah.
I can't even see my face. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well, you're super pale.
No, I wasn't this pale in the recording.
You're beyond the pale. Well, it's different for YouTube live broadcasting. So.
K-Gat says woo.
Oh, well, woo to you, as it were. Yeah, Chris and I figured we'd get a hop on recording today so it wouldn't, fall by the wayside and we'd have a little bit more energy. I find that I think the best first thing in the morning. So. God. Oh. Sorry. I'm not dying, I'm just in severe pain.
It could be both.
By the way, this microphone's a misnomer. It's connected to a different system. What you're hearing us through is directly through the phone. So if you're like, he's got that microphone right in front of his face and it doesn't sound great. There's a reason for it. It's not connected. We have yet to find a way to do YouTube Live and actually use nice equipment because it seems like YouTube punishes you for that. I guess we just have to use a really nice webcam.
Yeah.
Currently, we're just using the phones. If you have any advice for that, leave it in the comments. Let us know. Certainly open to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd say that was a good episode. What do you think? Pretty good?
Yeah.
Not the best?
I mean, I don't know why YouTube isn't showing up for me, but whatever.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So anyways, we learned a little bit about Trixie.
Yeah.
In this episode. I'd say we learned a little bit about Trixie.
A lot about Trixie.
A little?
A lot. So, yeah. Anything else you wanted to add about it? I mean...
It's going to be a good episode.
Yeah. Dang, I wish we had more time to actually do stuff. Sorry we haven't been doing a lot of stuff. Schedule's just kind of been all over the place.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, not that many people watch our video game playthroughs.
Yeah.
So.
I feel bad for those that do.
And nobody has requested anything specific for us to do in a while.
I did Prey. Finished Prey. It was good. I like the game. The game's great. Visuals are great. The game mechanics work together in a way that's actually very intuitive and fun.
Maybe you and I should do a separate video where we actually go into like a review of Prey. Talking about our thoughts.
Yeah. Well, you have to play it first.
Well, I've watched you play a good bit of it, and I know the story.
Yeah.
So once you said you completed it, I went ahead and pretty much read ahead on everything.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, the story is great. I think the ending actually ruins the story. I hate saying that, but it kind of does because I'm so confused as to what was, and I mean, not to spoil it. It's just, yeah, I'm going to spoil it.
Or you could save it for the review.
Or I could save it for a review. Like we were talking about, and I've said before, it's kind of nihilistic in that nothing really matters. Because I mean, what was the point? If it wasn't, because my assumption is that it was a collection of memories, and that they were simulating what the events were. At a point when I realized it was a
Where
simulation.
Where did it all go wrong?
What was the actual series of events? This has been kind of hinted at before in a few other stories where they will say, you're all members of a simulation that are just trying to figure out what the hell happened. And sometimes they're a little open with it, and sometimes they're not. Big O, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
It's hinted at that they're all part of a simulation that's just trying to figure out a series of events that happened sometime in the past, and so they just keep iterating through possibilities, and so that's what you are in the game. But that's not what it is. All it is a kind of just an lengthened personality quiz.
I'd love to do an episode by episode analysis of Big O.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if people are clamoring for that, but you want to talk about one of my favorite anime?
I think the clarification. I mean, not the clarification. The requirement for me, all the animes I enjoy, it's an empathy test. Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, when I learned that the impacts that I had on the world weren't so tangible in the real world, they didn't have any actual inherent meaning. I just felt like, well, that was a fun exercise.
Yeah.
I mean, but I appreciate the gameplay. Gameplay's fantastic. I love how they did the level up system. Let's put it this way. I loved the game, the setting. Even though I should love the setting to Bioshock more, I love the setting and the gameplay and mechanics way more than I loved Bioshock. But I liked the ending to Bioshock a lot better than I liked the ending to Prey.
It has more to say.
Yeah. It had a meaning for the future of the human race, except it doesn't explain how we got there. Like it kind of explains it, but it's like, can I get a breakdown in timeline? As I was talking to Robert earlier, the scene from the original Matrix, the first Matrix movie, where they go to the surface of the Earth in the Matrix, where Morpheus is sitting on a couch and says, "This is the surface world. What happened here?" And he goes into a little bit of exposition about the breakdown of the events that happened. Not with a great amount of detail, but enough for you to fill in the blanks. I wish they had done that at the end of Prey, but it's a very short, very simple thing, and I realized that if they had gone into exposition, the whole thing about it being a personality test and a simulation of events to test you as an individual would be kind of thrown out of balance, and that wouldn't be the primary purpose. But at the same time, I really wanted some finality, and it didn't offer that.
So many future stories are really actually dystopian stories. There's a vision of the future. There's no positive visions of the future.
Well,
every vision of the
because
future since, let me put it this way, every vision of the future since the beginning of the Cold War has been that of nuclear annihilation.
Yeah, some kind of annihilation.
But I'll give you some examples. All of my favorite anime, favorite stories, is essentially what it is. We don't go to Earth anymore. We can't.
Well, to be
poison.
fair,
it's a rock. It's destroyed. They're losing. They can't grow things there.
To be fair, I mean, if you want a good story, you have to create strife, and so there's an inherent strife to a post-apocalypse.
Right,
so
but
it's an easy setting.
It's the same progenitor, or rather, it's the same impetus. No matter what the space story is, Earth is dead.
Yeah.
Not. So let me give you an example. And I'm not a big Star Trek guy, but Star Trek is like, yeah, Earth is great. Earth is beautiful. Everybody loves Earth, but humanity needed to explore.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't leave Earth because they needed resources. They left Earth because
they wanted to.
We wanted to explore.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey's character Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to explore. He wants to see what's out there. But the impetus is they have to leave. Otherwise, they're all going to die. The blight has destroyed their food
again,
source.
it's a strife. It is an obstacle. An easy obstacle to overcome. And it's an easy obstacle to set up because it's one that makes sense. And it's one that's relatable. Anyone can kind of understand that. Well, I shouldn't say relatable. I don't know how many people can relate to post-apocalypse. But it's one that we can comprehend very easily. And it's a simple launching point for great amounts of strife, because what it does is it can push people to their limits, and it can show off. Clearly, the real course of events on the station went differently. I'm under the impression that the actual history follows the December ending, and thus all went bad.
Well, why would they be replaying it if it went good?
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, there actually is reason. Because at the end, it's described that you are actually a hybrid human Typhon morph that they're trying to raise because they can't beat the Typhon through fighting, so they're trying to instill the Typhon with empathy. I think it's because the Typhon can easily be controlled by the fact that they are almost a hive mind. And so if you can work your way in like a mental
What's the danger
virus,
to a commune but individualism?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and because what you can do is you can poison, you can create a poisonous idea, a virus, mental virus to take over.
What if we talked about on the show? America's greatest export is our culture.
Yeah. So what you do is people can say that, but thank the British for that one. What was Hong Kong again? Oh, right.
You mean the only nice place in China?
Well, it was.
Still is.
Oh, true.
It's the only place in the world they speak Cantonese.
Mm.
So,
I heard they can't. Anese. I know, it's painful.
I kind of want to leave this. After show on a cliffhanger. I want to say something really, challenging to people. So I will say I was forced to. Speaking of dystopian futures, I was forced to watch Serenity again over the weekend, and my opinions on this.
He doesn't like Serenity.
I don't like Firefly.
No.
it's a story that was done before and done better. And quite frankly, done a lot better. The thing that people never are critical enough of is that the scripts, the writing is just lazy. It's just really poor.
Mm.
And it's like, oh wait, they're in future, and it's harmonious, and it's heavily Asian driven, and they're like these badass space cowboys with this Chinese influence. Wait a minute. Space cowboys with Asian influence, jet setting around the world, fighting an evil alliance. What does that sound like to you? Oh, that's right, Cowboy Bebop!
I take it you like Firefly, Chris. I'm mostly indifferent. I think I enjoyed Firefly for what it was. However, I've watched The Expanse, and holy shit, it is much better. And it's way fucking better.
My problem with
so
Firefly,
there's no way I could even compare the two.
Firefly's like a chick you went on one date with. You can idealize it because you never got to see the icky. You know what I mean? It's perfect in how little you know about it. There's 8 episodes, 9 episodes.
It does fall into
one movie?
It does fall into the Dark Knight thing of you either die a hero or live long enough to be a villain,
right.
and it died a hero. So
yeah, right. So the other thing is too
But I did honestly. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. But I am a massive sci-fi fan. I will.
The storytelling.
Eat it up.
The storytelling is weak. The storytelling.
Oh yeah, no, it's very simple. It's very tropey.
People will say, "Oh, it was so edgy. It killed this character in this way." It does it unceremoniously. There's no.
And that was the movie.
The whole thing. Whenever that happens.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. It goes back to the Hitchcock rules. If you show the gun and people see the gun, or rather, you see the bomb.
Yeah.
The
you
bomb
can't let it go off, or you're a monster.
But the problem is, with somebody you care about, you have to see the gun that kills them. You have to see the arrow that kills Boromir. You have to.
I would say you have to see the radiation that kills Spock.
Correct.
Even though you can't see radiation.
You can't just have Spock be sucked into the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
so Bree watched Serenity for the first time over the weekend, and she said, "What the hell killed him? What killed him?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, because she didn't watch the show, she didn't know that the Reavers had these harpoon hooks that they shoot into ships.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, she hadn't even realized the spaceship had spun around into a position where it's very convenient.
Yeah. But yeah, again, the death of Wash was poorly done. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you agree.
It was.
And what did it accomplish? You know what that movie did? It made goddamn sure they didn't make any more Firefly. That's what the movie did.
Yeah.
And if that's what you're gonna do, kill them all off.
Yeah.
That would have been the ballsier move. Truly, they set it up. They set it up where everyone had a sacrifice.
Or set it up to where everyone has a sacrifice, but the very last person, Nathan Fillion's captain character, would be the last one, and leave it on a cliffhanger to where you don't know if he's actually if he's dead or not. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. And they try and do the archetype of the beautiful monster in the Alliance assassin, and he's a wasted character because there was tremendous potential there.
Yeah, and
I like the dynamic that he's like, I'm a monster. I have no place in heaven. This is what I must do. That's interesting. But then the fact that it's just like, so here's the deal. So they get the message out, and then the Alliance suddenly decides they're not going to still murder them. Oh, I guess we're just going to choose to be the good guys. Nah, they'd still shoot your asses.
And it's sad as I consider the best done character death to have been a different Whedon creation. I haven't seen all of his stuff, so I can't say.
Joss Whedon is obsessed with the underage heroine kicking ass.
Yeah.
I think he has female power fantasies. I think that's his fetish.
Yeah. I mean, in the same way that, oh gosh, what's his name? The foot fetishist.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, that.
Well, have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
No.
There's a scene where Salma Hayek essentially pours liquor down her leg with her foot in his mouth. Not sort of in his mouth. In his mouth. It's disgusting.
Anyway, different strokes for different strokes for different folks. Sorry, I had to go there. The Expanse. If you have not seen it, it might still be, the first season might still be free on Amazon Prime if you have it.
You want to know what?
Watch it. You need to watch it. Holy shit.
You know what's another ragtag outlaw outer space show that was better than Firefly? Farscape.
True.
Much better than Firefly. Now, people will say, oh, but there's bad episodes. Of course there's bad episodes. There's like 6 seasons of 25 episodes a season. That's what I'm saying. If Firefly had been given 2 full run seasons, you'd have criticisms. But it's like I said, it's the chick you dated in high school for a month.
And they were really hard on the.
And she left you, not you left her.
Something tells me they were actually going to they knew they were going to be canceled early on, because their writing up front was very strong, and they went through a lot of material very quickly
In a short amount of time.
In a short amount of time, mostly the
story of Joss Whedon's TV career. People always talk about, oh, he's so great. Well, he did one great thing in writing Buffy, but name another successful Joss Whedon TV show.
Yeah.
Granted, the one he did was very successful, but it's the one he did.
Yeah.
People also forget, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, which he wrote, didn't direct, is campy as shit.
I can imagine so. I thought Buffy was campy.
I think. Well, it is campy. It's purposefully campy, but the movie is insanely campy. The thing is, people. The one criticism I will have of Joss Whedon, because I think he's great with comic books, he does not know how to write a romance.
Well, a lot of people do.
George Lucas sure should.
Amusingly, back when Fallout Equestria was originally being posted, I got a lot of people asking who I imagined as voice actors if the story
became a show or an anime. And yes, I am that pretentious fuck who says anime, not anime. Anime.
Okay, well, you also learn Japanese, so...
let's say that very mildly.
Well, you attempted to learn Japanese.
Yes, I had 4 semesters. I would not go to Japan. I mean, I could loosely get around. So
better than I could. I
regularly
regularly answered
Nathan Fillion.
Morning.
Good morning. Why did 666?
So Nathan Fillion.
I imagine Calamity as Matthew McConaughey because I think Matthew McConaughey is 10 times more likable than Nathan Fillion. But that's just me. I think Nathan Fillion plays a better dick than he does a hero.
Oh, but he's really good at it.
What, being a dick?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what
he's really good at it.
People are like, oh, he's great as Captain Hammer. Yes, because he's great as being a false hero giant dick.
I know, it's one of those things where he's really good at it.
Hey, the hammer is my penis.
It's so flippant, so rude, and so good at it. So yeah, you need to... Well, I am eventually going to have him watch The Expanse, because it's really damn good. It's right up your alley because it's techno noir.
I beg your pardon. I don't need a right Rogering right up my alley.
Yes, you do. You damn well do.
So, maybe we can talk about this here. So, we already kind of touched on some things in the after show for the Foally Man, but we talk about a lot of the stuff on the Foally Man. But Chris and I have been looking for an avenue to talk about some kind of other media stuff we're interested in. Not politics or anything like that, but just other things that because we send each other stupid shit all week. And we can kind of gauge here now if y'all would be interested. Back in high school, we did a show for many, many years called Random Frequency. My favorite sci-fi series was, of course, Babylon 5. To each their own.
I thought Babylon 1 through 4 was better.
I like Babylon 3.5.
Actually, I take it back. Babylon really started falling off after 3.
It's like D&D, Babylon 5th edition. Oh, did you know that you can be a bard?
Could have been bard in A&D. What are you talking about?
No, I know.
And you know this.
No, I know, but you could... Like, the bard was finally really viable in 5th edition. Like, bards are fun to play in 5th edition. Your bard still has to learn, because you're level 1, but... You'll see. Bards at
I've been level 1 for months because we never get back together.
That particular campaign, no, we haven't gotten back together. Anyway,
when you have a campaign with 6 people and all of them are working adults, suddenly it doesn't work anymore.
All throughout high school and part of college, Chris and I did a podcast called Random Frequency. So, bards were up in AD&D second. Yeah, well, and that's why... Yes, they got stronger, but they needed to be balanced. That's what I'm saying. 5th edition, they're fun, they're balanced, things work. But anyways, just gauging interest. If anybody would be interested in listening into another podcast that we do, where we're not talking about My Little Pony. I mean, you may touch on My Little Pony, but it would be an opportunity for us to talk about some film, arts,
possibly gaming.
TV,
I mean,
some gaming.
You say gaming, yes, then yeah, we can.
The way I see it is, it's more of a pop culture show, whereas the Foally of Man is very specific. So, if y'all would be interested, I mean,
if you like us, really, that's what it comes down to. If you like our personality enough to be able to listen to my nasally voice and his terrible jokes, then
yeah, they are terrible. Anyways, so we'll make a pilot episode, anyways, and then let us know what y'all think. We're debating whether or not we even want it to be video, but. we'll see.
We'll see. Partly because it might be easier for us to do audio. Connection.
Remotely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier for us to do that sort of thing when he's over at his apartment than having to be over at my place. It's one of those things, we live in the same town, but we live like 40 minutes apart.
You say town.
I was being nondescript.
Yeah.
I mean, people already know we're in North Carolina. I'm sure people can put the pieces together. We're not that hard to find. Well, you're hard to find, but I'm not that hard to find.
I am a leaf on the wind.
Oh, thanks.
I'd be interested and catch it whenever the topic was something I had knowledge.
Well,
and
you wouldn't know from the title.
See, I knew they didn't know.
That's not true. If anybody's paid attention to the episodes, all the information's there. You just got to put the pieces together. Somebody's got one of those like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia boards with the red strings everywhere. Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia. Pepe Sylvia.
And then I found out there's no Pepe Sylvia. Yes, there is. He works on the 5th floor,
and he's been asking for about his mail for weeks.
That's so dumb.
No, we're already fired.
Yeah. So, Kit Kat, the episodes, like what we cover, may be in the description of the show, but it's going to vary from week to week.
And as well, we're probably going to cover several various topics.
We've also talked about doing a dedicated film series.
Yeah.
Which I would really like to do.
Probably go back, look at a lot of older films, see if they... Because I'd like to actually see what films can or can't hold up. So any popular films that you're like, this is just not applicable to a modern audience.
I hate to say it. You know, you can go back and pick things. You know, we remember things from our childhood and we see it through rose-colored glasses. But I was watching Raiders of the Lost Ark last night. And I love that movie. Now we would love to do a Mystery Science 3000 style. But I think there's some issues with, like, I don't know how you get around that with, like, rights and stuff.
And we could get you'd have to get old movies that you can just, like, old public domain films. I expect as much from the description. Probably wouldn't catch it live. As
it wouldn't be live.
No, we would
it'd
do
be pre-recorded.
Yeah,
it'd be canned. But anyways, we'd love to do something, basic cable commentary a la Mystery Science Theater 3000. But you know what's funny? I see a lot of guys watch movies on Discord and comment on them.
Yeah.
While they're doing it.
There's also the annotation experiment, which is some weird niche, out-of-the-way thing, which is where what they did was they used YouTube annotations as live commentary to things, and they watched, like, the pilot episode to the Bubsy cartoon and
now I will tell you
Sonic cartoon and everything.
What I have seen with basic cable commentaries is what people do is they record something to the movie, and then they tell you when to start it. Okay.
You keep leaning down into
Then they tell you when to start it in basis of the movie. Now, you have to have a copy of it yourself.
Yeah. The Adam from Your Movie Sucks has been starting to do that.
That's how they do it.
However, I'm not going to buy a copy of Catwoman, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to buy a copy of Lady in the Water. Holy shit, no. I'm not even going to steal that. I don't want anyone to ethereally watch that ever. That... Shyamalan's masturbatory aid.
Yeah. God. He did seem to have an obsession with Bryce Dallas Howard until she started showing a few age lines.
Well, I mean, they also...
But it is interesting. Every director has an archetype that they like in their films.
So the Pirate Bay is for... Yeah, but what I mean is, like, I'm not even going to do that. I refuse, because then I have to actually say that I've seen it. And who wants to say they've seen Lady in the Water? Oh... The entire movie is about how Shyamalan is right and all of his critics are wrong. It's literally that.
Well, and I love that the story he supposedly would tell his children.
Ooh.
Which is a fucked story to tell them at bedtime. Well, it's currently unpopular based on what we're saying, but if you didn't mind it, that's fine.
Yeah.
You are part of the market share that enjoyed that film. The only problem with Shyamalan is that once you figure out that all of his films have a gimmick... it spoils it. You know there's going to be a gimmick.
Yeah, it kind of ruins the experience.
Really what murdered it for me was The Happening.
Yeah.
When he got to the point where he was like, I'm going to be...
Well, if you saw enjoy is a strong word, didn't mind it too much, and yeah, okay.
It's funny, we don't talk about it a lot on the show, but you and I are really passionate about movies. We watch a lot of movies. We talk about a lot of movies.
I admit, having seen it, I did not enjoy it. It was terrible. Because he literally has a critic character who is representative of the critics of his films, and he kills them off. in the most one of the, like, speaking of unceremoniously killings off. It's like, really, you ass. Shyamalan, the fucking hack.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Yes.
Ooh, ee, ooh,
I'm gonna talk about something, but I forgot. Yeah, I actually did find The Happening effective.
See, so here's my problem with The Happening is he went out. Here's the problem. You've talked about it before. If you shit your pants accidentally, it's funny. If you go out intentionally to shit your pants, you're mentally handicapped.
Thank you, Spoonie.
Yeah. But it's the truth because he intentionally wanted to make a bad.
U-Bowl. It's supposed to be pronounced Uwe, but I'm not pronouncing it that way
Uwe
because
Boll.
he's an ass.
Uwe Boll.
Because his bad movies were intentionally bad because he was actually getting tax credits for it. He was using tax code to get free money. He's a scam artist.
You would do it too in the German tax system.
I would be more interested in making a film if someone offered me the opportunity. He was a scam. He's a scam artist. So I don't care if he boxes anyone. He'll die he'll die being known as an asshole and a liar. What's effective for me is rather unusual. I have actually suffered the real life effect that movie is evoking.
Trees drove you to jump off of tall buildings?
I think it's either hay fever or suicide. I say hay fever because, the tree's pollen's causing you to feel like death. But the thing is, if you actually watch, and this is what shocked me about The Happening. If you watch the making of scenes, because a lot of modern directors will have somebody on site filming the scenes. Documenting the scenes. And so, if you watch those, Shyamalan is downright abusive to the staff. Because who was it? Mark Wahlberg was asking, why the hell are we going into this house? Why would this make any sense? This house looks decrepit. Why would there be canned food here? How could we know it's safe? And Shyamalan pretty much says, I'm sorry, are you the director? No? Then don't talk to me. It's like, dude. Oh my god, dude.
Well,
why?
And he takes actors who've proven themselves before and says, no, I want you to read it like this. Oh, you mean emotionally unaffected, detached, and incapable of acting?
No. You eyeing my lemon drink? Yeah, it
makes no sense.
Could the movie have been done better? Yes. Was it done better?
But like so many movies with media hype, it tricked people going to see it in theaters.
A chemical shut down my ability to feel fear, and it led to behavior that was effectively suicidal. Interesting. I mean, technically it's a chemical reaction. I don't know how that would be shut off, but...
So what you're saying is The Happening was your Vietnam. You weren't there, man. You wouldn't understand. It wasn't your war.
Maybe that's what she's saying, is that was the closest that people have gone to understanding. Don't be rude.
I'm not being rude.
Anyway. No, it's more of a don't be rude.
Okay. All I want to know is, do you know DeWay?
Do you know DeWay?
He does not know DeWay.
DeWay.
Spit on him, my queen. My queen.
Queen.
He is a non-believer.
Oh god, that meme was old the very second it happened.
It's still funny.
I think Michael Bay did the same freak out during filming of that astronaut film when the actor pointed out a flaw in logic.
Armageddon.
I'm not surprised.
Armageddon.
I'm not at all surprised. Michael Bay is a giant baby. He's shown himself to be a giant baby. If anyone who criticizes his films, he has a little bitch fit.
I don't like Michael Bay at all, but he does deliver what most American men want. Tits and explosions.
He makes them boring.
That is true.
How can you make an explosion boring? How the fuck did you do that, Michael Bay?
Overexposure.
Even the Fast and Furious movies didn't make explosions boring.
Michael Bay, through producing, tried to give what's her face, the vacuous idiot from Barbados who has a career, Rihanna. Tried to give Rihanna a film career. By the way, so this is a hint of what we'd be talking about on Random Frequency. Rihanna has been cast in the Ocean's 8 movie.
Oh.
It's an all-female Ocean's movie.
Not enough tits and way too many explosions.
By the way, who the fuck thinks Megan Fox is hot?
Anyone? Well, most people under the age of 21.
So at her peak...
Well, males.
At her peak, caked in makeup, vacuous. I guess what they like is someone whose mouth looks like you could put a penis in it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is like,
but if that's your
Bobby asked, because Bob, a mutual friend of ours, why is it that so many men are attracted to her? I mean, I get like he understands it a little bit, but why is it that it's such a not enough tits and too many explosions? That's why you're my favorite author. Yes, but it's. I was like, okay, go to Google image search for, and this has obviously probably been changed. Search for her on Google Images and show me the first picture where her mouth is closed.
Yeah. Kay Catman. Kay Catman sounds like a Jewish film producer. I am Kay period Catman. Oh yes, Mr. Catman. Catman Productions. You're gonna be a star, kid.
Yeah, the Michael Bay just makes everything boring, just completely.
Google knows what's the fuck up.
But I just don't care about his films. I don't care about everything he makes. I don't care about anything he touches or produces.
And you wish he'd choke on his own vomit.
No, because then people would care. I want him to somehow fade into obscurity and be forgotten from existence.
Yeah. So look at it this way. This is kind of a teaser what Random Frequency would look like. Speaking of which, we were talking about Kurt Cobain. Or speaking of choking on your own vomit or a shotgun shell, we were talking about Kurt Cobain earlier today. We were talking about Kurt Cobain earlier today, and about how none of it made sense. Like, how could he have? Nothing made sense about him killing himself. And there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it was a hitman. Somebody was hired to kill him. But what I talked about, because Bree chimed in, she's like, what a shame, all those years of music we could have gotten. And what my argument was, like, he was headed for an overdose anyways.
Oh yeah, and
I don't think there would have been any more music. I just think the means of death would have been different.
Yeah.
He was rapid spiraling. I mean, he had stopped producing. He wasn't playing anymore. He was holding himself up in his house and just doing drugs all day.
Yeah.
That's what heroin does. It ruins your life.
Yeah, and he was ruining his career, and he had to be stopped, which is why Courtney Love hired a hitman.
Did you hear, which I agree with, and there's actually a lot of evidence to support that, but did you hear, have you heard Teen Spirit, but in G major?
Maybe.
Pull it up on your phone.
When you like him to make the director to make racial joke in the private meeting that gets filmed. I didn't hear about that. Did you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's not known for being very intellectually honest in any way.
So do Teen Spirit major key.
Michael Bay, he just seems like an ass. He just does. Yes, I am.
I know, I'm just saying get to it. I'm over Michael Bay. Yeah, I think it's the top one.
Remixed in a major key.
Yeah. All right, put it up near here so everybody can hear.
I think you just have to listen at home. But
Nope. Hold it up near here.
This is going to be the worst quality of all time. Anyway, at home, look up the Teen Spirit Major.
I want your reaction to it.
Well, we can do my reaction later.
Okay, fine.
We're not going to listen to music live on the air, and we said we haven't read their comments.
Anyways, it's Teen Spirit in a major key rather than the minor key, like the song traditionally is in. So it takes a punk song and makes it like a peppy California-style alternative rock song.
Yeah.
No, it's the funny thing is that it's really catchy because it's in a major key.
Well, it was catchy in a minor key. It is difficult for those on the outside to understand why people who have serious traumatic or depression issues act the way they do. This is true.
I mask mine with alcohol.
I've had bouts of clinical depression, and I remember somebody, this was a long time ago when I was very young, say, well, why don't you just stop feeling bad?
Shit.
It's like, why don't you just run fed first into a brick wall?
For anyone who struggled with depression, it's like, fuck you.
It's like, wow, wait, really? It's like I was...
Hey. Just stop being sad.
That being said, if you have not, look up Depression Part 2. Oh God, who is the person who makes that? Ali Broche, I think is her name. It's a fantastic view on clinical depression, and it is, hyperbole and a half. Depression Part 2. It is fantastic. Her like documentation of what depression feels like inside, amazing. Absolutely spot on from my perspective. Like there's no purpose to it. It just is.
Is that your truth?
That's my truth.
Live your truth.
Have I noticed that I really don't need to? Some people like relatability.
All I want to say, K-Cat, is just stop being sad.
Oh God. Oh my God! Don't do that. It's so.
I mean, it's an old mindset of like just man up or just get over it. It's not. There's no getting over it. There's surviving it.
Yeah, yeah. And you wait till it recedes.
If I can speak candidly for a moment about.
Well, you haven't been
about depression. What I would say is to the loved ones, to the people in your life, the best thing you can do is be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're having a down day, tell your partner that I'm a little blue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just down. You need to know that. That honesty helps them help you. That's my only word of advice. Don't hide it. Don't mask it. And people who don't understand it will try their best, but if nothing else, at least they know where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Because hiding it makes it worse. Then it's your quiet shame. Then you're like, I feel like shit. I have all this good in my life. Why do I feel like shit?
Yeah.
And you can't control it.
Exercise and vitamin D can also help, but there's no guarantee. It's been 2 decades like that. Unfortunately, my chronic depression faded, but it devoured the first part of my life. I'm sorry to hear that. I am. I've had it on and off, but I haven't had it for I had it for a fairly long period of time once for a series of months, but it was pretty terrible. But I've never had it for
in
years.
your life, you've had a lot of good reason to be depressed.
Well, yeah.
So, but that's a story for another day.
If it's a story at all.
Yeah. We'll mask your voice. We'll put you in silhouette, but it'll still be on this channel. So we'll make up a name for you.
And the worst part is they start trying getting back in contact with me, and they start telling me about the things I didn't know about or didn't remember, and they're like, "Oh, you remember how this happened?" It's like, why? Why? Just terrible. Anyway, completely unrelated.
And this after show has gone as long as the normal show did.
Yes.
So I think that's enough. But consider it a taste for Random Frequency coming later this week.
Or sometime.
I'm excited about bringing it back.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing it on back.
So thank you, KCat and Why Did 666.
Yeah.
We missed Smliff. I guess it's because he's not up yet.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay.
I mean, it's a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's a Sunday afternoon.
Well, Sunday noon. Sunday noon.
Technically, we're seconds into the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Episode, as usual, will be up late Tuesday or on Wednesday, as it has been. Sometimes I just can't help myself. If I edit it on Sunday night, I really want to publish it sooner. I should be more disciplined, but I'm not. So,
why, when you don't have to be?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, what does it hurt?
A message for the 21st century. Oh. Still here. Thank you for telling my trolling. You weren't trolling really that much, so.
Nah, you're good.
He's fine.
He's okay.
He's
okay.
good.
All right, y'all. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Chris and I'll catch y'all next time.